Hey guys, good evening. Well, in my case, it's evening now, so I'm gonna say good evening. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and say hi guys, good day. My name is Gian Alexer Tagimakruz, and I'm gonna be your teacher for this subject, entrepreneurship. Okay, I hope we will have a good run together, and I hope we will learn something from one another. Uh, Although I know we both know that uh, life has been tough ever since the pandemic struck the world, but and we haven't really completely recovered, or we haven't recovered from COVID-19 yet. And then um, sadly, Typhoon Odette really hit us hard. It has affected a lot of people. But anyways, the most important one of the most important things to do is that we always try to get up, always try to fight these challenges, and that's the most important thing. And yeah, let's be positive. Let's have courage to face this new era. Let's have faith. We'll get there. As what they say, when there's always a rainbow after rain, or there's always when there is darkness there is light. So let's fight our way um through that light. Okay, now let's talk about our topic for this week. It's gonna give you about an overview or an introduction to what entrepreneurship is all about. Okay, or somehow you're gonna have a glimpse or an idea of what entrepreneurship is about. Okay, let's go. So, entrepreneurship. What comes into your mind when we say the word entrepreneurship? Mhm. So the first thing that comes into our minds is first is businessman, diba? Businessman, or selling, or business, or any kind of business, coffee shop, or um, um, gasoline stations. It is a business, entrepreneurship, right? What do we call a person who is really engaged in entrepreneurship? We call them entrepreneurs or businessmen, right? So that's the first thing that comes into our mind. But let's have a clear definition of what entrepreneurship is about. Now, entrepreneurship is the process by which individuals or a group of individuals exploit a commercial opportunity either by bringing a new product or process to the market or by substantially improving an existing good, service, or method of production. Okay, so when we say entrepreneurship, it can either be a single person, one person who has one person that started the business, or could either be a group of individuals or partners that decided to start this certain kind of business. So it can either be a group, somehow it's project, diba? Okay, before you do something, you always plan. You always plan for a project. So that's maybe a group project or an individual project. Okay, so exploit a commercial opportunity. What is a commercial opportunity? When we say commercial, we can always relate to watching TVs. But because every time you watch TV, there's always a commercial. Every time we watch our favorite um, uh, telenovela or series, there's always commercial after every good part, di ba? Kung thrilling na commercial na yun. So that's it. Commercial. We can relate to that commercial advertisements or promotional videos. So that's what commercial is. How about opportunity? What do you mean by opportunity? Say opportunity, a chance, diba? Chance, opportunity. So when we combine those thought together, I mean, yeah, what is a commercial? What are commercials for? Commercials are there to give information to the customers or to the consumers about a certain kind of product or business in order to somehow persuade them to buy to buy that product or service that they are providing. So that's what commercials are for. Ba? So when we put them together, it means to say that it is an opportunity for you to give information, or it is any opportunity or any chance that you can give an information to the consumers or customers about a certain kind of product or service that leads to profit or leads to money. Okay, it's any opportunity that creates a profit. So that's what commercial opportunity is. So either by bringing a new product or process to market. So if you have a new idea that is still not existing in the market yet, so you can bring that idea, process that idea, plan that idea, bring it to the market. So that's gonna be your new product or process that you are gonna introduce to the market or to the consumers. Or you could be your product could be an improvement or an improvement of an existing product, self existing product, like for example cell phone. For example, you're gonna add certain features to the cell phone so that it's gonna be better compared to other cell phones, and then you are gonna persuade the people to the consumers and the customers to buy your product because this product is different. Okay, so that's it. That's what entrepreneurship is. So what do we call a person who handles entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurs. Okay, so what is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is, in other words, businessman. So is someone who develops a business model, acquires that necessary physical and human capital to start a new venture, and operationalizes it and is responsible for its success or failure. Okay? So entrepreneurs are those people who have the courage to take a risk, who have the courage to take the risk somehow. There's always a money, diba? We always need money in order to start a business. And we start a business, it is somehow innate nga we have to take risks. Okay, because we never know what would happen. It can go either ways. It can go boom like fireworks, or it could boom like a crashed vehicle or something like that. Yeah, because we never know if that specific business will be a success or it will be a failure. Because the only thing that will that the only way to know that is that if you finally introduce that product to the market, and if people keep the people keep on buying this certain product or service, that means to say that your product is going in the right way. But it's not the case for every product or idea. But some fails, some still exists now but are not that profitable. So that, okay. And yeah, so a person who have the capital also, as what we said, we cannot start any business if we don't have money or the capital. And person who takes the risks. So let me it is a person who is responsible for its success or failure. So let me ask you a question. Is a manager of a business, let's say for example a manager of Jollibee or supervisor of Jollibee, is he considered a businessman or entrepreneur? Some of you might answer, some of you maybe I can't hear you, but maybe your answer is yes because they're managers. That's a really high position, and it's he's involved with business, yeah, and yeah, supervisors, yeah, because they're in the business too. So are they considered entrepreneurs? The answer is no. They're not considered entrepreneurs because they are not the ones who started the business. They are not the ones who took the risk in opening Jollibee and to find out what would eventually happen. Diba? So they're not the ones who started the business. They're not the ones who took the risk in opening that kind of a venture. So they're not considered businessmen. Like what I said, business entrepreneur or businessman is responsible for the success or failure of a business. If Jollibee fails, or if a business fails, or gamay lang halin or profit, is the manager gonna be responsible for the kanang improvement? I know, not improvement, but for the reopening, or kanang the monetary funds needed in order to improve a certain kind of service or product to save to save your business? Is the manager responsible for that? No, it is the entrepreneur that's going to be responsible for the monetary funding or the capital in order to improve that failure. To correct that failure and improve a certain service or product. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, now that we know what entrepreneurship is and what entrepreneurs are, let's talk about the types of entrepreneurs. So what we have here, the first type is for small business entrepreneurship. So when we say small business entrepreneurship, no, with the name itself, small. So ginagmay nga negosyo. So what do you mean by ginagmay nga negosyo? Kuan, kanang mga negosyo nga owned by a single family or a single person who doesn't have any branches, uh, doesn't have any branches or affiliates or yeah, branches. So it's standing small. It's standing single. It's the only one. It's a small business entrepreneurship. Gamay ra siya nga negosyo. It's owned perhaps by a family or an individual that is considered to be small. Okay, the next one is large company entrepreneurship. So what is a large company entrepreneurship? By the word itself, it means dinagko na nga negosyo. For example, Altura's group of companies. Altura's group of companies. BQ. These are big companies. SMs, Ayala, Robinsons, um, and etc. A lot. There are actually a lot. But if a small business improve its facilities and its sales, they can also they are the first step to obtain to achieving a to achieving a large company entrepreneurship, because we always start from the beginning, right? In the beginning is the small business. So from small business, and then you improve your service, your product, your facilities, improve your sales, your profit, and then you expand your business, so that eventually that will lead to being called a large company entrepreneurship. Okay. So the next one is scalable startup entrepreneurship. So when we say startup, kanang beginning pa lang business, startup. So mo pa'y pagsugod. When we say scalable, pwede siya pwede siya mapadako dayon, ba? Scalable. For example, Facebook. For example, Facebook, Google, um, Google or Grab, Grab, um, and other online platforms. Because Facebook, Google, these are only idea. These were first ideas, diba? And then they put on they put it on a work. They started to use algorithms or whatever they call it in the computer. They started to work on it to create that application, and then they pitch that idea to a group of investors or businessman. They pitch that idea to them, and these businessmen or investors will find potential in that startup business. And after that, if they find that a certain idea or service or application or product that you have created has a lot of potential, then they're gonna fund they are gonna fund your idea and your business. That's what happened with Grab, Google, and Facebook. They started with an idea. They were small, and then a lot invested in the company because they find it to have a big potential. And now it's really big. The company is really big right now. So those are scalable startup entrepreneurship. Next one is social entrepreneurship. When we say social, para sa mga tao, social entrepreneurship are or social entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs who are deeply concerned with the well-being of nature or well-being of people. For example, this kind of entrepreneur sells product that is gonna be eco-friendly. That's gonna be eco-friendly, or that's gonna be health health friendly nga mga products, or products that can improve your health, products that won't that won't damage the environment. So social entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs who have uh, uh, um, a deep connection or a deep sense of responsibility for the public or the social, like the environment and the people. So those are what we call social entrepreneurship. Now let's go to innovative entrepreneurship. By the word itself, innovative means you innovate something that is already existing, a product that is already existing. You're gonna innovate that certain product. You're gonna improve it, make adjustments to that product, and you are gonna introduce it to the market. So that's what innovative is. You're gonna improve a product that is already existing in the market, but you're gonna add touches to it that the people hasn't seen yet. The people that haven't felt or seen it before. And then when you try to pitch your product, or you try to introduce your product, mamangha ang mga consumers because this is an improvement to something that is already existing. For example, Tesla, diba? Cars are already existing in the world. Cars are already existing in the world, but what Tesla did is he invented electric cars that could drive themselves, like Tesla. Wow. Imagine how smart a Tesla car is. It drives on its own. Imagine how smart that is. Imagine how innovative that is. So that's what innovative entrepreneurs do. They try to innovate a certain existing product. Okay, let's go to hustler entrepreneurship. So when we say hustler entrepreneurship, wala sila paki og unsay iingon sa mga tao, ug unsay ni mahitabo basta makas maka benta lang sila og product in a day or two mo na ilhang ko hustler entrepreneurship. For example, kanang mga tao nga or mga entrepreneurs nga mo face to face jud o mo face to face jud og baligya sa ilang personal product to the consumers, diba? O kanang mga tao nga galuto og, for example, kanang mga tao nga galuto og mga cakes, their personal homemade cakes, and then they're gonna sell it in the public personally, ba? What is the example of that? Cake on crate. I know for in fact that I don't know if you know cake on crate. Cake on crate is somehow slowly building a reputation for themselves. They have a lot of orders, or they they do a lot of orders already, but they're on a stop right now because of the typhoon Odette. Their their products are really great. You should check it out. If you have time, you can check it out. Cake on Crate. So the owner of that is I know the owner of that business, and I can remember that the owner of that business goes everywhere in his town in order to sell his product, his homemade cakes. He's gonna sell that. He's gonna roam around, go to every facility or building, or like health centers or public market. They go. He goes around just to sell his product to the customers. Right? He doesn't up he doesn't employ persons to do that work because he's the one who has to do that work. So that's it. Hustler entrepreneurship. Imitator entrepreneurship. So when we say imitator, mga nga gaya-gaya nga mga products. For example, Rusi. Rusian is an imitator type of company because the their products are somehow have the design of other motorcycle companies. Diba, na sila yung mga design sa mga motorcycles nga pagkapareha sa ani nga brand. So ani nga brand, sa ani nga brand or sa lain nga brand. So those are imitator entrepreneurship. So imitator means imitate means nga awating sila, awat-awat. Like also class A shoes, imitator. They imitate that certain product, and then they're gonna remake it, but you're not gonna expect the same quality of the product compared to the original product, because the original product is always gonna have the greatest quality, diba? Okay, next one is researcher entrepreneurship. So researcher entrepreneurs are these entrepreneurs. He keeps on researching something before before they introduce their certain their specific product. they are gonna do a lot of research first in order to be sure, in order to be prepared, to be really prepared when they introduce the product to the market. So pure research first before they introduce the product to the market. For example of these are um, beauty products, or beauty products, lotions, medicines. But it requires a lot of research first before you actually introduce it to the market. Because what if something happens to your customer? Diba? These are not basta-basta lang a product, because medicines, you're gonna drink the medicine. Diba? So that's example. Um, and last one is buyer entrepreneurship. So when we say buyer entrepreneurship, these are entrepreneurs buy um, who buy businesses. So buyer entrepreneurship, dagko na ni sila kayo nga firms. I mean, dagko na sila kayo nga companies nga when they see potential in something or in a business, they buy that business. So buyer entrepreneurship, mo ni sila mupalitay og mga dinagko po nga business. Buyer entrepreneurship. That's what it is. So, what is the role of entrepreneurship to economic growth? So, when we say economic growth, that means to say that is relating to the money, growth of the economy, growth of the economy, or kind of, yeah, economy. So, contribute entrepreneurs contribute to the national income, but they contribute to the national income because they also pay taxes. In order to have a business, you have to pay taxes first. They also create employment opportunities. Of course, if you have a business and it evolves into a bigger business, or it expands, eventually you're gonna hire a lot of people. You're gonna employ a lot of people, and that's gonna be an employment opportunities. And it will also contribute to economic growth, because those people are gonna pay taxes also. People are gonna pay taxes also, and when we say economic, it's always on the side that in the good side. I mean, when we say that Philippines, it's just example lang. Say Philippines is economically stable, then that means to say a lot of Filipinos have secured a job in the Philippines already, or are stable already, or many businesses in the Philippines are stable already. So that's what it means. Okay, localizes wealth generation, it bringing foreign opportunities at a local level, and role of entrepreneur in economic growth as an innovator. Okay, so these are the things that um, entrepreneurship is gonna bring to the growth of the economy. So let's talk about the skills and competencies that an entrepreneur should have, or an entrepreneur has. Curiosity. Curiosity. So an entrepreneur is always curious about something, because how can he create something if you're not even curious, diba? So you need, as entrepreneurs, have curiosity, and out of that curiosity they'll have a structured experimentation just to test their curiosity. And then they're adaptable to changes. They're adaptable. They have this trait, adaptability, because to they can adjust to certain situations. They can adjust if, for example, nga feel nila nga na ay pagka gamay-gamay ang sales doon karon, then they're gonna improve and try to adapt to the new trends that is somehow happening to the society, maybe perhaps decisiveness. So entrepreneurs has the ability to decide what to do and firm with that decision. Team building, or a team member. This should be a team member. The entrepreneur should be a team member. Risk tolerance, of course. In order to start a business, you have to take risks. Diba? Like what I said, it could go either ways. It could be a successful business, or it could be a failed business. Diba? Also, um, because of that, entrepreneurs are risk tolerant, they're also comfortable with failure, because that what comes of being an entrepreneur. You you can never expect that it's always going to be a sunny day. Sometimes it's going to be a rainy day. Sometimes you're going to wear umbrella, and sometimes you're going to wear umbrella so that you're not going to get wet. Okay, so you have to be comfortable. Entrepreneur should be comfortable with failure. Persistence, innovative, and has long-term focus. So our discussion for that's gonna be our discussion for these week, guys. I hope you learned something in our discussion, and um, I already posted the activities that you need to do. So please work on them before the deadline. Pass on the deadline, on or before the deadline, and keep safe, guys. God bless, and see you soon.